Hey everybody, this is Ben here at That Cologne Guy coming at you with a new review. How are you doing? Just like last week, I'm actually not coming at you with a new review because in this episode, I'm doing a fake decluttering. So let's get into the backstory here. I want to thank Auxe over at Sniffing Fragrance. She is so kind, and she tagged me to do this fake decluttering of my collection. So if you haven't checked out her channel before, please check out her channel. That is Sniffing Fragrance. She does, just like this channel, she looks at men's cologne, women's perfume. She looks at all types of fragrance, expensive, cheap, you name it. And she puts out reviews quite a bit. So check out her channel. And thanks again, Auxe. I really appreciate it. Okay, so this episode then, of course, is going to be showing you my collection, which, wow, talk about paling in comparison to yours. I have seen many of your collections on Instagram, so I know that some of you, if this is your first time watching this channel, I can tell you that many of my subscribers have not one, not two, but between 300 and 400 bottles. And I've seen many of them on Instagram on video. So that is incredible. I certainly don't have that. And I envy that. I admire that about you guys, that you have such passion and money. But anyway, I certainly don't have that much, but I will show you my collection, and then I will show you which ones I would declutter if I had to. So the question that begs to be asked is, which fragrances are going to get the boot? Stay tuned and find out. All right, so welcome back, everybody. What I want you to do first and foremost in the comments section is I want you to tell me if you have one fragrance in your collection for which you have buyer's remorse. Is there one fragrance in your collection that you kind of wish that you could trade, get rid of, wish you hadn't bought, didn't like it as much? If you had to declutter today your collection, what would be one fragrance that you would get rid of? The second thing I'd like to do before we start is welcome all the new subscribers. You know, yet again, we have had just another absolute avalanche of new subscribers since last Friday, and I really, really appreciate that. If this is your first time with me, the bottom line is in most of my episodes, whenever I review a fragrance, I have a 5-spray rating system, and then at the end of the episode, I say what my rating would be out of 5, and then I actually put that number of sprays on myself. So you can check out my channel trailer here and learn more about the channel. Check out all kinds of episodes. I have Amouage for men. I have Amouage for women. I have the library collection. And then I have all other kinds of reviews. I'm all over the charts. I mean, I do ultra cheapies, very expensive, women's perfumes, men's colognes, you name it. I love being a part of FragCom, and I love reviewing all different types of fragrances. Okay, so without further ado, let's dive right in. A couple ground rules for this episode. Number one is I'm going to be looking off to my right and off to my left a lot. I have put these in no order whatsoever. So this is completely at random. It's not like I'm going to show you like the most likely to be decluttered or my favorites first, or this isn't a top 25, approximately whatever I have. It's not by season. It's completely at which one came out of the box here first. All right, to show my collection. That's the order. Completely at random. The second thing is, besides being at random, I decided not to put a label here at the bottom and talk about notes so much. Because I don't want to make this episode too long, so I'm just going to show you a bottle, and I'm in a different room, as you can see. Hopefully, it has better lighting, and I will say the name. And but if there's ever a moment when you see a bottle and you don't catch the name, just ask me in comments, and I will make sure that I'll include the Fragrantica link to that one. But I think with so many, I think I think it would take me quite a long time to put the labels at the very bottom in post. So if you'll forgive me on that one, and as I said, I'm going to talk more about basically would I keep it or would I not. So I'm going to stay away from notes generally. And then the third thing I guess I would point out real quick in ground rules, my situation is a little bit different because I don't know about what you do, but what I do is when you guys recommend a fragrance for me, or if I'm curious about a fragrance, I will put that in fragrances I want to own in Fragrantica in my profile. So I have a list of all these fragrances, like I think it's like 30 or 40 fragrances that I would love to have. I'm curious about. Oftentimes I'll see if there's a big sale, or if I see one of them real cheap, I'll grab it. And so my point in saying that is I wait a very, very, very long time before I actually pull the trigger and purchase a fragrance. So I don't have too much of buyer's remorse in trading just because I wait a very, very long time. Like some of you, I am on a limited budget, so I simply can't just go out and buy one because I'm curious about it. I have to wait a shockingly long time. All right, so let's dive in, folks. I'm just going to, like I said, I'm just going to go one by one, and you'll have to forgive me. I will try not to clink and clank too much, but I will, and I'm sure some of this will end up in bloopers because I'll probably knock over a few, but let's dive in. So the first one is Encre Noir by Lalique, and this is Natalie Lorson, one of my favorite parfumées, and I got this one on a trade. And the thing about Encre Noir is that it means black ink in French, and it is definitely a love or hate. The guy with whom I traded said it just wasn't for him, and I don't know that I would have bought it, but the fact that I traded for it, I thought, how bad can it be? And I absolutely love this one. In fact, I have to tell you, it sounds a little corny, but I love some of these winter fragrances. I love so much that I am now looking forward. Hockey was the only thing I looked forward to for winter, but now I look forward to winter just because I can bust out some of these winter-based fragrances. Encre Noir is outstanding. Obviously, I like it then, and then you can do the math here. I indeed will be keeping that in my collection. All right, here's another one. Let me go over here. In fact, look, totally at random. Look at this. This is, in fact, I like the box so much I kept it. So this is a flanker of Encre Noir. This is à l'extrême, and it's also by Natalie Lorson. And I have to tell you, I don't have too much experience with the opaque bottles, and I don't really care for them too much. I like this one better than the original for two reasons. Number one is simply because I can see the juice. Okay, but number two is this one is a little bit more of a crowd pleaser. If you're not really sure about Encre Noir, then if that one is like full on goth club. So again, you're either gonna like that or not. This one is fantastic, but it's a little bit more of a crowd pleaser, a little bit more mature as well, and slightly more sophisticated. So if I had to choose between the two, I would say this one would outweigh the original. But I love them both, and of course I would. If anybody even thinks about decluttering a Natalie Lorson fragrance, then send it to me immediately. Okay, thank you very much. And again, watch me mention the same bottle twice. I will try not to. The next one is a Kouros body, which is also called Body Kouros. This one has a review that's doing quite well for me right now. And I reviewed this a while back, and I positively love everything about this one. Some have said it was a slightly too sweet, and then it's got a eucalyptus note in it. And boy, could I not disagree more in the sense of being too sweet. I love this fragrance. It is sweet, but I don't think it's too sweet. I think it's just very well done. And now, this is a flanker of Kouros, and you know that Kouros is one of my most detested fragrances. I don't, to save my own life, I don't understand why people like Kouros. Kouros body though couldn't be better. It's the flip side. So if you don't like Kouros and you're worried about this one, don't be, because it's fantastic. If you ever thought about decluttering this one also, send it to me. I will be keeping that bottle as well. The next one is an interesting story here. This is Burberry Touch. Now, Burberry Touch has a little bit of a makeup vibe, and so normally I'm not into that. It does have kind of a lipstick, not kind of, it has a lipstick makeup vibe to it, and it's certainly sweet. I would say this, though. My cousin wore this once, and I asked him, I was like, wow, what are you wearing? And he told me it was this one. And I had heard it had a makeup lipstick vibe to it, so I was thinking, it's not my thing. But when I smelled it, and he told me what it was, I immediately went out and got this, and I definitely love this. I will definitely be getting another one. And again, this is kind of the one fragrance for guys who don't like. I don't think it's iris though, but if you don't like a makeup or lipstick element to your fragrance, this would be like the one fragrance though that you would have in your collection that does have that. I mean, I admit it definitely does, but it smells outstanding. I really appreciate this one. Flies under the radar for a lot of people. Don't let it, because it's really good, and I absolutely will not be decluttering that one. Okay, so let's go into Mahogany Woods. This is from Bath and Body Works. This is my second bottle, and this is one that comes up as one that I recommend as a cheapie for you. So a lot of you that are on a very, very, very tight budget, I got this, I think it was $12.50 if I'm not mistaken. You can get this at the Bath and Body outlet stores. They discontinued it, but you can still find it. And you should grab a bottle because for the money, it's really, really good. I mean, it has a very bourbon kind of caramel feel to it. It's excellent stuff. I had the body wash, and then I got a bottle, and then this is my second bottle. I just couldn't resist because I saw it for $12.50. Come on. Now this one is, this one might surprise you. This one for me is going to be one that I would declutter. Hold on. Well, you're going to say, yeah, but you said you liked it. I do like it. I like it a lot. The only thing I would say is, and you'll see in a little bit later, I have a fair amount of fragrances in my collection that smell similar and probably a little bit better than this one. I really like it, and I highly recommend it for those on a tight budget who are looking for, a very fantastic smelling kind of caramel fragrance. But I think in my case, because I have enough now that smells in the same category but slightly better, slightly more nuanced and sophisticated, I think this one would be one I would declutter only if you make me. So there we go. That's the first one, and that's Mahogany Woods. Here's my declutter box that's extremely fancy. Very technical here at this channel, as you know. All right, let's move on. This is a Chrome by Azzaro, and if you follow the channel, you know this is my 3,412th bottle, and I always buy the testers, so you can get this bottle for about $20, $25. That is incredible. For a 100 milliliter, 3.4 ounce, to get a fragrance that is always in the top 10 most unsolicited compliments, that is fantastic. Chrome isn't the favorite. It's not the signature fragrance for a lot of people. But if you're just looking to quote unquote smell nice and get compliments, especially at the office, more of a daytime, then look no further. Chrome Azzaro is outstanding. I really like it. I know a lot of people call it the Windex fragrance, and you know that I could not disagree more. I don't think it smells like Windex. I think it smells fantastic, and I think it's wonderful. Definitely more for the office, kind of a Monday through Friday fragrance, but it does really well, and you get a lot of bang for your buck on this one, especially if you grab the testers like I do. So no way would I ever sacrilegious to declutter Chrome by Azzaro. All right, let's take a look at another one. Okay, here's kind of so this is Costume National, and in my review, I recently said some people say Costume National, and then I went back to my original review and I said it. So I'm not sure. This is an Italian company with an English name, so I'm not sure why I said Costume National. Costume National pour Homme, and this is an EDP. This is definitely for those of you who are looking, if you're in FragCom, if you're in the fragrance community and all the people around you wear fragrance and you're trying to stand out and smell unique, then wow, Costume National is a great company for you. This one is really unique. The worst thing you can say about this one is that it smells like movie theater popcorn and an ashtray combined. It kind of does, actually. It kind of does. It is unique. I really love it, though. The longevity is off the charts, and so is projection. So this is definitely not for the meek. This is a bold choice, and this is for somebody who is looking to stand out. You know what this is? This one is kind of rugged masculinity meets contemporary modern. That's what this is. I really like this one, and I appreciate that about it, because it's very masculine, but it has a modern contemporary feel to it that I really appreciate. And then it's also very unique. So this was a little expensive, but I have zero buyer's remorse. I would love to have more. Really like this one, and I love breaking it out, especially for events when I want to stand out and smell different than others. Certainly a unique fragrance by a unique, thinking outside the box company. So I will definitely not be decluttering that one. Okay, so we're going to go on to this one's a body spray. I got this one at Gordman's was closing down, and they had this. I think it was like $250 on the last day they closed. So my daughter and I actually went there on the very last day that they were open, and I thought, how bad could this be? So here's the thing: Kenneth Cole Signature is a wonderful body spray. I have not had the cologne, but what I would say is it smells really, really great. Now, there is kind of, I don't know the note. It might be papyrus, but you guys can help me. I do like this one, and I like it as a body spray, actually. But I would say that I don't think I'm going to be moved to get a bottle of this when I finish the spray, and I'll tell you why. It might be the papyrus, but there's definitely there's this kind of dill pickle smell to it that's kind of off-putting. I really like the smell, though. I mean, it's certainly a good cologne. I don't think it's excellent or superb, though. And the dill pickle note does put me off a little bit, to the point that I don't think I would be moved unless I got it like really cheap, or I traded for it to get a bottle of this one, especially with the collection that I now have. So Kenneth Cole Signature is really great, but if I had to declutter it, this one would get the boot. All right, moving right along. Ooh, man, I need to move faster, but I just love these so much. You know what? This one is Acqua di Gio Essenza, and so you know that Essenza got discontinued. A lot of them, was it like Profumo that you guys like? This one supposedly had a strong fish market note that was off-putting to people. Don't get it. Like what was it? Like an egg or a fish market note that, man, I don't get that at all. I absolutely love this one. This one is Acqua di Gio original, but slightly more mature. So this is kind of like Acqua di Gio in college, and then you grew up and became Acqua di Gio Essenza. I love this. In fact, I'm just going to say I'm secretly happy that you guys don't wear this one and wear Profumo, which I like, but I don't like as much. I really appreciate this. I bought another one, another fragrance that had just the longevity on it. It was the Chanel Allure Homme Sport, and I know you guys. I think you guys get good longevity on that, right? I mentioned it before, but I got zero, and I didn't know if I got a bad bottle or what. But the company immediately refunded me the money, and I exchanged it for this. And I just thought, man, compared to that one that had no projection or longevity, this can't be too bad, right? Because I already knew I loved Acqua di Gio, and this is outstanding, and I really appreciate this one. Absolutely will not be decluttering that one. Okay, moving right along. So here's another one. Here's another one that's interesting, right? This one is Halston Z14. This one is from the 70s, and this is my second bottle, and I have to, it definitely has more of a kind of a chlorine reformulation to it. It's not the same Halston Z14. This is from the 70s. This is an ultra cheapie, folks. This is a 6.7 ounce, so that's what, 200 milliliters. And I think I got it for 18, 19 bucks. I mean, it's crazy how cheap you can get this one. Say what you want about this one. It does smell kind of like everybody's dad, okay? It does, but and this is definitely a Father's Day kind of gift. It's an ultra cheapie, but it does garner compliments. I mean, yes, it's not the same one it used to be, but considering it was basically a pine tree that would clear out an entire room in the 70s, I don't know that that's a bad thing. It does have a little bit more of a swimming pool chlorine type element to it in the reformulation. I will give it that. That said, because I've had multiple bottles, and because again I'm so happy with my collection, if I absolutely had to get rid of Z14, if I really had to, because of the reformulation, I would begrudgingly get rid of it. So I'm going to give it to the boot in this fake decluttering. All right, moving right along because I don't want to make this episode too long. I had the body spray of Obsession, and I finally decided to buy this one. So for those that don't know, this is kind of like the you weren't in the 80s if you didn't purchase Obsession. I actually just recently, in the last year, got Obsession. I finally got it. I kind of stayed away from it because I kind of felt like it was again, kind of like Halston Z14, the epitome of like the dad who's woefully out of touch with fragrances and just keeps wearing the same one. And I thought it might be kind of an eye-rolling experience. But cinnamon does so well on my skin. I just thought, well, I might as well try it. So I got the body spray and loved it. And I finally bought a bottle. I have to tell you, I don't think this is old manish at all. I love Obsession for Men. It's a wonderful fragrance, and I'm certainly glad that I finally purchased it. I'm probably the only person who bought it in, 2019 for the very first time, but I did. And I'm glad I did, and it's a keeper. So we'll not be decluttering that. Okay, here was my Father's Day gift, and this one is just skyrocketing up the all-time charts for me. If I had to do an all-time top 20 fragrances, this would definitely be on it. This is one of those fragrances where I kind of, went against the hype, right? If you remember when this came out, that everybody wanted to have it, and they really hyped it up, and so I kind of stayed away from it. And when I first smelled it at an airport, I just thought it was very off-putting and too linear. But this is definitely one of those fragrances that you need to wear on your skin to fully appreciate. You need to wear it for a day and see how it interacts with your body's chemistry. And this is, of course, Terre d'Hermès by Hermès. Absolutely wonderful. This is a mammoth bottle, of course, as you can see, and it's artistic. Just the bottle itself is beautiful. I don't even like keeping it in my closet. And it is, again, climbing up the charts for definitely a top 20 all-time. And I might even have to consider a top 10. If I had to make a top 10 all-time favorite, that would be way too difficult. I'd probably just get too stressed out. Okay, so here is another one that I absolutely love. In fact, I love so much. This is Pure Malt by Thierry Mugler. And Pure Malt is amazing. I know a lot of you guys like Pure Havane more, but I don't. I like Pure Malt. This one it was aged in a Scotch cask, and it has a very has caramel, it has tobacco. There's just a lot going on in this one. This one's definitely for the night, and I like to wear this one for special events in the nighttime. And so oftentimes it goes with me with my leather jacket to live music, which I love seeing. And of course, during the pandemic, I am missing, and I know you are as well. Tough times, folks. So as you can see here, I haven't put too much of a dent in it, and that's only because I really saved this for special occasions. I really like that one. Definitely not going to declutter. If anyone even considered decluttering that one, unsubscribe from them immediately. Okay, here's another Burberry. This is Burberry London, and has, I guess I would kind of take some points off for the cheesy sweater that they put over the bottle. That's kind of corny. That's where the corniness ends, though, because this one is another fantastic one. This one is the one that you've probably heard referred to as Christmas tree in a bottle, or Christmas in a bottle, and it really is. I got this one last year right before Christmas, and the the pine, the cinnamon, the tobacco. Oh man, this one is just this is a really great fragrance and a definite must for your for the winter season. Outstanding. And I hate to kind of agree with say what everyone else says, but it really is Christmas in a bottle, and it's going nowhere. I'm not going to declutter that one anytime soon. All right, let's take a look at another one. This one you see at Target a lot. So it's a lot of department stores and kind of, pharmacies, CVS's, Walgreens, things like that. And that is Guess Seduction Homme Blue. And I think, is it 2 or just 1? I think, I can't remember if it's number 1, but so it's Guess Seduction Blue. Or Homme Blue. You see this one a lot at Target. And I also traded for this one. Now, this one here, this one is another one that is really, really good for the summer. I really enjoy this one. I don't think I would have purchased it on my own, but it was a throw-in in a trade, and I'm glad I have it. I liked it. Would I get another bottle? I don't think I would, just because it really has a youthful quality to it. I mean, it really is more of a high schooler, perhaps even college student, summertime. This is another one that would be like a middle school, like a first fragrance kind of perfume or cologne. So in this case, it does smell great though, and it would be a great first cologne for like a middle schooler or high school out there. But obviously, I'm not the target audience for it, so I don't think I'll be getting another bottle. Therefore, I am going to declutter it. It does smell fantastic though. Okay, it's time for the one that a lot of people don't know is a play on words, which is l'Odyssée, which means the water of Issey, because the designer is Issey Miyake. So it's called like the water of Issey, l'Odyssée, but that's also a play on words because the Odyssey also sounds either similar or exactly like it in French, I've been told. So a lot of people don't know that one, but this one is l'Odyssée per Homme. This one's another 90s freshie. This one is definitely... so if you guys don't know, the 70s and 80s were like, masculine explosion with shirts open and hairy chest abounding. And then they kind of went to there was a backlash to that. So the 90s have a lot of fresh fragrances. And this is one of them. This was huge. I think it was 94 when it came out, if I'm not mistaken. And I've had multiple bottles of this one. Sorry, it just doesn't get old for me. I really, really like this one. I don't think it's dated. If you don't like this one, that's just because you don't like 90s freshies, which is understandable. A lot of people don't, but in my case, I mean, look, if you want a freshie that has great longevity and projection, look no further. The yuzu note in here is to die for. So no, I will not be decluttering that one. Okay, so here's another one. This one is kind of an asterisk, though. This is kind of a wink-wink situation because this is Bulgari Blue, and I really, really like it. But I'm going to say that I would declutter it just only because I have hardly any left. So again, this is kind of an asterisk situation that today I'm saying during a fake decluttering that I would get rid of it, but that is just because I basically have none left. I really, really like this one. You know what this is? This is the perfect fragrance to have in your collection if you like your fragrance to smell like an extension of your body wash or soap. So if you're looking for something that is like after the shower that smells like, like Irish Spring or Old Spice, the body washes, you would really like this one because it is fresh. It's very, very clean. And I was surprised. I really like this one. I didn't think it was going to be my thing so much, but I was at a party actually, and a guy was talking about it, the host, and so he's like, "Oh yeah, check it out." And I thought, wow, actually that really smells nice, and I got it for very cheap, and it is worth the money. So Bulgari Blue is awesome. Between you and me, I will secretly be getting another bottle, but for the sake of fake decluttering, we will say that I would declutter that one today. All right, moving right along here. My most recent purchase is L'Instant de Galin per Homme, and as you know, this one used to be called Lidge. So they used to have L'Instant de Galin, which was the EDT, and it was called L-I, they just said, like, I guess it'd be Lidg. It was L-I-D-G written, and then Lidge, which was L-I-D-G-E, which was the L'Instant de Galant Extrême. So they did away with those terminology, which, thank God, and now they just do L'Instant de Galant EDT or EDP. So this is the EDP, and I just got this recently. And so you can tell this is the newer bottle here. And I just to give you an idea, when I got this in the mail, I sprayed one spray out into the air, not even on me, and you could smell this thing for hours. That's one. I had a sample of this and absolutely loved it. Talk about unsolicited compliments abounding. You will get a lot of those, and I cannot wait to review that one. That will be sometime in January probably. All right, and of course I will be keeping that, otherwise I wouldn't have recently bought it, but I am so happy I finally found that one. I was looking at that for a long time. All right, so here is another one that is from the 90s. This one is the Dolce Gabbana pour Homme. And Dolce & Gabbana is the EDT, and if you notice though, this version here has a label on it. See that right there? And so what that means is it is the original. The one that has it engraved, embossed on the bottle means it's a reformulation, which has a little bit more of a baby powder feel to it. And maybe suntan lotion, but it has a like kind of more of a chamomile, whereas the original has more of a tobacco note. So you can see here, I've gone through multiple bottles, but this one in particular I really hold on to and try not to put too much of a dent in, just because it is the original that has more of a tobacco note. So if you wore this in the 90s, look for this bottle here that has the label on it. And man, this one is another one that's just outstanding. Talk about highly versatile. This is one that could be worn truly anytime, anywhere, any outfit. I really like that about this one. It smells amazing. It's too bad they reformulated this one, but don't be terribly disappointed. I mean, look, the reformulation is not as good as the original, but it's not as bad as what everyone says, because I've had multiple bottles of the reformulation. So don't let someone talk you out of getting a bottle of that one. I'm just going to say real quick, I kept this one. I don't have anything left in it, but I decided to show it real quick just because I keep it in my bathroom now because I love the bottle so much. This one is Bulgari Man in black, and this one is another one that I really, really like. The only thing I don't like about this was I went to a very, very special event and I couldn't get a lot of sprays out, and it's because, of course, that the bottle is opaque. So I can't see through it, and I didn't know how much juice was left. So I don't like that, but the bottle as a design and to keep in your bathroom is amazing. So I'm all done with this one, but will I be getting another bottle? I absolutely will. This is another gem by Alberto Morillas, who does nothing but gems. I mean, the guy is the best of all time. So I will not be decluttering either the empty bottle or the new one when I get that. Too beautiful. Okay, we are starting to get down there now. This one, I must tell you, was close to getting decluttered, but this one is Aqua Mara by Bulgari. And the thing about Aqua Mara that I like is it is a freshie that is contemporary and has a fantastic orange note that lasts a long time. So I don't think I can declutter. I thought about maybe decluttering this, but the bottle is too pretty. Here's what I like about it. I like that it is a freshie that is newer. It has a wonderful orange note, and it lasts a long time. The reason why I was going to declutter it, by the way, was because now that I have Terre de Mez, I don't wear it as much because the orange note in that one is fantastic. The orange peel note, I should say. But the fact that you can get this for $20 or $30 through is either Walmart or Target, I don't remember. But very, very good, and I will be keeping this. And yet it's yet to be determined if I would get another bottle because of Terre de Mez, but I'm not going to declutter that. Okay, so I have just looks like 4 more. So let me move right along here. This one, of course, always wins the best fragrance with go ahead and say it, Worst marketing. So you know that there's a rugby star who's an amazing rugby player, but he is the model for Paco Rabanne's concoction here. This is Invictus, and I really appreciate the fragrance. I love the fragrance, actually. Paco Rabanne's Invictus smells fantastic. The one thing about it, though, is the marketing is ultra cheesy. If you haven't seen it, go to YouTube and just put in Invictus commercial or something. There's like 3 or 4 of them, but they're all really corny and cheesy. That said, just based on fragrance alone, it smells fantastic. I don't agree that it's just like some people say it's just like it's only for clubbing and it's only for like high schoolers and college students. I don't see that. I think it really stands alone as a fantastic fragrance. I really like it a lot. Definitely not going to declutter it whatsoever. All right, I got to make sure I get all of them in. Ooh, we can't forget this one. So this one is another one that's probably going to always be in my top 5, if not, maybe move down into top 10. But man, this one, even for sentimental reasons alone. So here's the deal on this one. I got, this is Givenchy Play Intense. And I got Givenchy Play Intense for a multitude of reasons. I heard it smelled good, and then I just happened to notice it came out the same month and year as when my daughter was born. So I bought it because I thought it'd be fun to kind of mark that occasion and always remember it. But it turns out, besides just the sentimental factor, I really like this one. This one is... imagine smelling like a tiramisu or some sort of dessert that you really like. This is definitely the one where you have been in a wonderful coffee shop all day working, and you leave and your clothes smell like a mixture of coffee and chocolate and dessert. It is sweet, it's masculine, it is contemporary, and unfortunately it's been discontinued because this one is an absolute gem. I bought this mammoth bottle recently because I am going to keep this as long as I possibly can. True shame that it was discontinued because I love Givenchy Play Intense, and no, it's not just for sentimental reasons. It's a keeper, always a keeper. If you have it and want to get rid of it, we are friends. Do remember that. Okay, so I'd like to end with 2 more, and this one was a gift. This one is Junaid. This is an oud by Junaid, which is an Arabic company. And it's a very dirty oud, which is a compliment, by the way. That's not a bad one. It's not a clean oud. So if I remember correctly, I think if it's more of a rugged, more natural oud, I think that means it's Indonesian, if I'm correct. But let me know on that. Either way, though, this is a fantastic oud fragrance, and this was given to me by friends. This was a gift, so of course I'm not going to declutter it. But let me just show you the bottle real quick. This one is oud par excellence. This is a very, very strong oud, so you have to use just a little tiny amount. Very strong smell, and I love it. Don't wear it often, but definitely not going to declutter that, and I appreciate that as a gift. All right, so the very last one today. No, I've got 2 more. How could I forget? So if you follow my channel, you know that I have my favorite one of all. And by the way, in sniffing fragrance, I just noticed today, as I'm filming today, I noticed that she reviewed this. So, coincidences here alike on the channel. So this is Acqua di Gio, and this is the #1 fragrance of all time. And I know you agree with me. You do agree with me on that. And of course, this is my 3,512th bottle, and it's mammoth, and it's a 13 ounce. And then I have the smaller one that I travel with, and it has a filler, and so it's refillable. And that way, I always have Acqua di Gio everywhere I go, and you should too, my friends. We don't even need to mention whether or not that would be something to declutter. Shame on anyone who would declutter that. I'm going to end with this one because this was supposed to be for last week. So you guys know that I do a ton of Amouage reviews, but they're all samples because I cannot afford any Amouage. So guess what I did recently? In honor of the 100th episode, I decided to buy myself a bottle of Amouage. And I bought Amouage Gold, and you can see here in the review, because that is the review that has always done really well for me, and I really appreciate that. You guys comment a lot on that episode, and a lot of people view it. Each week, it's still going strong, so I really appreciate that one. I'm so happy that people enjoy watching that episode. So that is Amouage Gold, so I thought, what better way to pay homage to gold than to buy a bottle. So of course I'm not going to declutter it, but I will end the episode, of course, by giving me 4 sprays of Amouage Gold. How could I not? So I'm going to end the episode with that, and then I'll do a recap of the ones I decluttered very quickly. All right, here we go. 4 sprays for the 70s carpet cat piss, raccoon butt floral that incredibly sounds terrible and smells fantastic. Don't ever just smell this alone and think, okay, I don't like it. Actually wear this, because Amouage Gold smells a little funky coming out of the bottle, but on your skin, dynamite. Boom. Boom. Oh yeah. Boom. Okay, definitely need to get the BGs out at some point. Boom. All right, there we have it. That is Amouage Gold. Of course, any Amouage would always stay in my collection. So, I have 5 fragrances I would declutter if I absolutely have to. Kenneth Cole's Signature, Mahogany Woods by Bath & Body Works, Blue by Bulgari, but that is really just because I'm almost out anyway. What was it? Guess Seduction Homme Bleu, I think, or Seduction Bleu Pour Homme, one of those two. But that one is definitely a perfect first-time fragrance. Really enjoy it. I will get through the bottle, especially in the summer times, in the hot weather. But I won't be getting another bottle of that one. And then I think I would probably, I've probably moved on from Halston Z14, but then again, it certainly is tough. After this mammoth bottle, I don't know if I will get another one, but I do like it. But I will begrudgingly declutter that one in this episode. All right, there you have it, folks. That is my collection. Those are the fragrances that I would declutter. Very few, and you can see why. Because I sit back and I really, really make sure I review. I watch reviews, and I get samples. I really make sure that I know I want a fragrance before I buy it. I love the collection that I have. I only wish I had more. But I hope that you have really enjoyed this episode. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're safe. I hope you're staying positive and healthy during these incredibly odd times that we are in. And always remember, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care, everybody. And this is actually the fragrance I have worn during the pandemic. I started wearing this in mid-March, and you can see here that, all right, there's drop number 1, which I'll already put in bloopers, but you can see here I am almost out of this bottle.